You have been a very bad vegetable. And now you want to get stuffed? You ask too much of me. I'm sorry, that was uncomfortable for me as much as it was for you. But that's all to preface what today's video is about. I come from an Eastern European background. Stuffing vegetables, this is nothing new to me. And I thought, okay, what other vegetables can you stuff? There must be more, and so I looked into it. And before people get mad in the comments, no, I will not be stuffing every vegetable. Before today, I have found 7 different vegetables that we can stuff. I will try all of them, and then we'll rank them. Hello, my guests, my name is Velvet, and I'll be your clown for today. I did something funny with my makeup with these paper eyebrows, and I kind of like them, but it will be funny. I will be very sad this whole video. Now, these are all different stuffed vegetables from around the world, and I'm sure I missed some, so if you know any more, comment them down below. The first thing that we're going to start with are the stuffed onions. As I said, this one is coming from a lot of different places, but the recipe I found today is from a Palestinian chef, and all you have to do for this is start by steaming the onions. After you peel and cut them, by the way, don't cut them all the way through, cut them about halfway as shown here. In this recipe, I put it in the microwave to soften them up, and then once they're done, they should look like this. I've got my very sad, deflated looking onions. As you can see, they're squishy. And the reason why we do this is so that we can peel them and use the onion layers as little shells. This is like nature's fruit roll-ups. We're gonna stuff them and roll them up like that. Ah, do you see the vision? Everything that I have today is going to be stuffed differently, and yes, a lot of the recipes do traditionally have meat. I'm going to be replacing them with either vegan meat or lentils. This one doesn't use any meat at all. It's just rice and spices. So let's mix that up. I've just realized that I can use a pot as a tripod, and it has changed the game. So for this recipe, they suggest we use sushi rice. So I'm going to wash this until the water runs clear. Okay, now to our rice, we're going to add some garlic. This is a mix of 7 spices, which is coriander, cloves, cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, salt. Did I say cinnamon? I'll put it on screen. Dry or fresh mint, dry or fresh dill, some garlic powder, some chopped parsley, some pepper, and some salt. This is some pomegranate molasses, and a drizzle of olive oil. Okay, set that aside, then bust out some tomatoes. Now with the box grater, you want to grate your tomatoes until you're left with the skin. Alright. And add this pulp into your rice mixture. Now we can mix it all together. Now we need to make the sauce that's going to go on top. Take some tomato passata, tomato paste, some more pomegranate molasses, just cutting up some more fresh mint. Okay, then I'm going to add a bouillon cube and just crumble it up. Alright, mix that together. I don't know if anybody else does this when they cut themselves, but like I physically cannot touch anything with this cut finger, even if it's covered. It's like that one little gay hand that's like this, just sitting idly while the rest of the fingers do everything. Alright, now we can get on to stuffing our onions. So what we need to do is take our onion skin and put enough filling. Oh my goodness. Try and stuff as much filling as you can, and then roll the onion around the filling, like so. I made the perfect amount of filling to onions, but I'm missing a couple onions in the tray. It'll be fine. No, it'll be fine. I've got these like leftover hearts of the onion. I think I'm gonna chop them up and just add them to the sauce. Same with this leftover liquid from the filling. I'm just gonna combine that with the sauce. And we're gonna add some boiling water to that to thin it out. You know, with the extra space, I'm gonna put some potatoes. Why not? We'll let them cook together and we'll have potatoes on the side. So we've got our beautiful onions with some potatoes on the side. Now just pour the sauce on top of the onions. Now look at this. Me and boyfriend invested into this nice stainless steel pan, but we didn't invest in a lid for it. So we're just gonna cover it with some baking paper. Now this needs to go in the oven for 1 hour and 15 minutes. So, we'll see you then. Okay, next on the menu are stuffed paprika, which in Serbia we call Punjena paprika. This is gonna follow the concept of a lot of other stuffed things that you're gonna see in this video. A lot of them are gonna be the same thing. You take the paprika, you cut the stem off, but make sure to keep them. And then you make a filling of rice. I'm using lentils, but typically this is made with meat. A lot of paprika, alright. Salt, pepper, some fresh parsley. I don't know why. I finished an 8-hour shift. Okay, I was tired the day I was making these. I f***ed the recipe like 5 times. But you want to position the paprika inside of the pot so that they look nice and cute and all snug together. And fill in the gaps with some potato. They'll boil in the pot anyways. And then stuff the paprika. I made way too much rice. You shouldn't really stuff them all the way. Stuff them more like 3/4 of the way. In the pot, also throw in some bay leaves. And I know before someone comments, actually the flavor of the bay leaf doesn't come out unless you put them in oil. I know. People have been known this, okay? We already known this. But grandmas throw it into pots for no reason all the time. So I'm gonna stay true to that. Throw that bay leaf in the pot for no reason other than decoration and vibes. Then you make a soup mixture that is made up of tomato paste, water, garlic powder, lots of paprika, again, a bouillon cube, and a spoon of flour. A spoon of flour to thicken it up. You mix that together, and then you pour it all on top of your paprika. Oh, again, don't forget, remember how you save the lids of the paprika? Put those on top of each of them after stuffing them. See, I forgot this step as well. I was having a moment. After filming this, I needed to stop for like 20 minutes and just think about like what I had done. How was I gonna fix this? I needed to open them back up again because I forgot to put the fried onions and I needed to mix them in. Whatever. You pour the liquid on top, you cover it. When you're boiling this, make sure that the heat isn't too high. It should be on a simmer. We don't want to burn the bottom. And you let it boil for around 45 minutes. When they're done, they should look like this. The paprika will get soft. The rice should be cooked. We've got some delicious stuffed paprika, just like Baka used to make. For our next recipe, we're staying in Eastern Europe. Again, I know we have stuffed cabbage everywhere, but today I got a recipe from Romania because my dear Romanian friend said that he's been craving it. So we are going to be making sarmale. A very important step for anyone making this. Do not skip this, I swear to God. You need kiseli kupus, okay? This is pickled cabbage. You need a whole head of pickled cabbage. It should normally come like this. Maybe you can buy them fresh even. Any Eastern European store is gonna have them, okay? It has a sour flavor. It's probably good for your gut microbiome. I don't know if cooked fermented things are still good for you, but you know what? We're gonna say that it is so that we can get those buzzwords in. Alright, let's make the filling before we start with rolling. You know, we need something to stuff them with after all. To make my life easier for this video, I went and I pre-fried a bunch of onions, so we're gonna use that. I'm adding a whole packet of vegan mincemeat. You can also use cooked lentils. Then for seasoning, we need paprika, pepper, some fresh garlic, some thyme, some dill, and once again, some rice. Mix that up. Now the Eastern European grandmas are gonna get mad at you vegetarianizing any recipes because they don't understand or believe in vegetarianism. But I think the star of the show personally is the cabbage. Alright, and there we have our filling. Let's move that to the side. And now, let's work on this cabbage. Now thankfully, her poop has already been eaten out, so that takes a little bit of our carving issues away. All you need to do is gently peel back the layers of the cabbage and set them aside. Alright, this is a nice meditative process. Okay, we've got a mountain of cabbage over here. Now when it gets down to the heart, it's going to be a little bit harder to peel. Some of them might tear, or they're going to be really... Oh, actually that one was really easy. But some of them are going to tear, or they're going to be just really thick. Don't worry, what we're going to do is take it and chop it into ribbons. We're going to put this on the bottom of the pot. Alright, now it's time to roll. Now, before we roll, we need to get our cabbage ready for the rolling process. So, some of the leaves are going to have different thickness of stems over here, and we don't actually want the stem. So, for these leaves that are more in the middle, the smaller ones that have a thicker stem, you want to carve it off. We want the leaves to be soft and pliable, and the thick stem gets in the way. So, carve it out, be gentle, not to rip the whole leaf. And now you'll feel that the leaf is going to be more flexible and easier to roll. For the leaves at the end, the bigger ones, you can just cut a little triangle here to remove the stem. Just like that. And then you'll be left like this. Now the bigger pieces, we're going to cut them into either halves or thirds so that we are working with smaller pieces because these sarmale are going to be quite small. So let me give you a demonstration of how to roll these. So this is not the method I use when making Serbian sarma, but this is what Miss Grandma in the video I watched did. So you take your piece of cabbage, you take some of your filling, trying to see which way is best. You roll it up, and then you push the excess down, like that. And do that on both sides. Okay, this is not my best, but this is the shape we're going for. I'm gonna try it a couple more times and get it looking better. Okay, this one looks way better. Right now, I really feel like some weird teenagers OC. Like, you know how some teenagers are really into things like World War II or communism in a Hetalia kind of way? I feel like fan art of someone being like, my clown OC in a communist era Romania making their favorite meal, sarmale. Does that make sense to anyone? Like this, sometimes I really think my makeup and the activities I'm doing just really juxtapose themselves. Speaking of Romanians.
These are pretty good.
Right, I used, this isn't the folding technique I would normally use, but I followed some
Fuck, I forgot to send you the
recipe?
The Romanian queen recipe.
I just put the VPN to Romania and searched Sarmale and used the first one.
It should be good. Was it Jamila?
Yeah. I don't know, check.
Or was it Laura? These are in like an eternal war. There's this massive drama that was so funny. Someone made so many drama. Basically, Jamila had this recipe of eclair, but in a tray.
Okay. Here's our beautiful mountain of sarmale. Now I had to take you off the tripod, and we're gonna first start with some of these chopped cabbage on the bottom. Make a little blanket. We've started with the layer first of the chopped cabbage. I'm gonna put a bunch of peppercorns on the inside because my dad used to do that. And again, the random bay leaves. Then take your sarmale that you've rolled up and place them in a cute little pattern.
Oh, this is yeah.
Look at what a beautiful array. Now we're gonna top it with some passata and some boiling water until it's covered, and then we're gonna place some more of the chopped cabbage on top. The next thing I wanted to do was stuffed bitter melon. I've never had a bitter melon in my life, so I was really excited to try this. I was really intrigued. I know that a lot of people complained that they hated eating this as a kid. I got a singular bitter melon. I must have looked really funny checking out of the store with just this. And I would love to say that today I'm gonna make stuffed bitter melon. But unfortunately, it started to mold. It's not just there, it's all over. Boyfriend has forbid me from eating it. Such a spoil sport. So maybe next time I'll make this, because what an intriguing little vegetable. So I'm sorry again for clickbaiting on that. We have one less vegetable today, but that doesn't mean that we can't continue onto our next vegetable, which are aubergines. There's a lot of places that do stuffed aubergines in different ways. I could have just done another aubergine stuffed with meat and rice, cooked in tomato sauce, but I thought that's too boring. So then I remembered my trip to Azerbaijan, where I had a stuffed, pickled aubergine, and I needed to experience that again. So I found out that they make these in Lebanon as well, and they're called Makdous. I already made the Makdous because they need around 5 days to 2 weeks, ideally, to completely marinate. I made a quick version of the recipe because I did not plan ahead to make this 2 weeks ago. So to make these, I went and I bought some tiny little baby adorable aubergines. I boiled them for 15 minutes. Afterwards, I drained the water, I cut them in half, salted the insides, and I put them on top of a strainer with some weight on top so that as much water as possible drains out. Now, depending on your recipe, some will say to leave them for 24 hours, some will say 48. This recipe that I found was a quick recipe and said to do it for around 30 minutes. That seemed too short, so I left it for 6 hours. While those are draining, you can go ahead and make the filling, which is a mixture of red pepper, walnuts, salt, sumac, parsley, mint. If I forgot any ingredients, I'll put them on screen. You blend that up until you get a paste. You take the aubergines that you already split in half and you stuff them as much as possible. Take your sterilized jar and stuff your Makdous inside, and then fill it to the top with olive oil. Make sure that none of the aubergines are sticking out of the oil. You want all of them to be covered so that you don't have anything spoiling. Now, this has been in the fridge for 5 days. As I said, ideally, around 2 weeks is better, 2 weeks or more, so that you get a nice fermented flavor. I think it looks beautiful. I can't wait to try them. Oh, my freaks. I was having a day when I was filming this, and I forgot to just talk about the tomatoes, the stuffed tomatoes, which are called Gemista. I'm using a Greek recipe today from this fruity little man on Instagram. And you're going to start off by slicing off the tops of the tomatoes and scooping out the insides, but save the seeds and the filling. We're going to use those later. Once you've scooped out all of your tomatoes, put them on the side, and we're going to get back to that filling. Alright, you take the seeds and the pulp, put them in a blender, and blend it up to make a little pulpa. I like this. Nothing's getting wasted. We're reusing, recycling. Now we're going to make the actual filling. So in a pot with some olive oil, I'm heating up some garlic. Then we've got some grated carrots and zucchini. If you're going to be using fresh onions, obviously throw them in now, but I pre-cooked my onions. Season it with salt, some tomato paste, let that tomato paste fry up a little bit. Then we're going to put some more rice, and we're not going to cook the rice now, we're just seasoning it. Now for fresh herbs, we've got parsley, mint, and some dill. I use dry dill, but fresh dill also works. Mix everything together, and now it's time to stuff our tomatoes. So, place them in a tray so that none of them are going to fall over. And in this recipe, the chef suggests to sprinkle some sugar on the inside, so I did that. Then we're going to fill it with the filling about halfway. By the way, you can put the leftover rice just in the side of the dish. You can still eat it. There's nothing wrong with it. Once you've stuffed everything, we're going to pour the pulpa into the tomatoes, and I'm out here always making a mess. Don't be like me. Pour the pulpa into the tomatoes so that they're filled to the top, and pour any leftovers just around the pan. Good. But yeah, they look great. They look great, sweetie. Put the lids of the tomatoes back on and cover with some tinfoil. Throw it in the oven for around 45 minutes or until that rice is cooked. And you're done. We've got some beautiful stuffed tomatoes. This just came out of the oven. Oh, look at that. I think that looks beautiful.
It's giving Bosnia.
And finally, the last thing we have is probably the most different to all of these, because till now all of these have been stuffed with vegetables, rice, some kind of meat or lentils, but we're going to the beautiful cultural capital that is USA. And what did they decide to fill their vegetables with? Cheese, of course. I chose to make jalapeno poppers because it doesn't immediately come to mind when you think of stuffed vegetables, but, well, technically, that is a stuffed vegetable, so that's what I made. For this, you're gonna need some jalapeños. Cut the tops off, cut them in half, and then take the seeds out. And then for the filling, we have a mix of cream cheese, cheddar cheese, spring onions or chives, garlic powder, salt, paprika. You mix that up, and then you stuff the poppers. Well, no, you stuff the poppers. That's what my gay best friend says when he's trying to sneak poppers into the club and tries to stick them into my little... No. That's what twinks say when they try to convince their female best friend that they're taking to the gay club to fit the rush inside of their tiny little purse. What the f***? called a tiny little purse. That's what twinks say when they're trying to convince their straight best friend that they're taking to the gay club to stuff a bunch of Rush into their tiny Prada knockoff bag. Oh my god, I can't speak! That's what twinks say when they try to get their straight best friend that they're taking to the gay club to stick a bunch of Rush into their knockoff Prada bag. That'll work. That's a stupid joke. So yes, once you have the jalapeno poppers stuffed, you can leave them in the fridge or the freezer to harden up. It makes it a little bit easier to coat them. I just coated them straight away with some flour, soy milk, and breadcrumbs. Feel free to use egg instead of soy milk. I did a double coating as well with the breadcrumbs just to make sure the cheese didn't explode out. Okay, all of the jalapeno poppers have been coated, and I've got some oil heating up back here, and we're just gonna fry them up. These jalapenos are so spicy, I'm scared. It's making my fingers burn. So I'll just flip them over halfway and make sure they get nice golden and crispy all around. Alright, so we've got everything in front of me right now. It looks and smells amazing. I do have to say, the stuffed onion specifically smells so good. Okay, I don't know what to start with. I think I'm gonna start with the paprika. I know what this tastes like. I've made it a lot of times. To be honest, I made it 2 days ago. I've already had this for dinner twice. I guess I'll have to try it again for you guys. Cheers. It's kind of like a curry. It's even better after a couple of days in the fridge. I like when it gets a little bit soggy. The sauce is thick and umami. It doesn't matter that there's no meat. Honestly, whenever my dad would make this, he would use the cheapest ground meat. You wouldn't even taste it, so it tastes kind of the same. 10 out of 10. Right now, this is gonna go in A tier. Next, let's stay on the Eastern European grind and go for the Sarmale. Let's go. I love pickled cabbage. The meat in here, I don't know why, but the seasoning just doesn't hit as much as the paprika. I actually prefer the lentils, I think, but I think that's just the flavoring of the fake meat. Personally, I think that stuffed paprika goes on top of sarma or sarmale. So I'm gonna put sarma in B tier right now. But things might change, things might move around. Mr. Romania is behind the camera giving me the evil eyes. Okay, on to the next one. I think let's move away from warm dishes and instead try out the Makdous that I made myself. I went for something risky, trying to make it myself, so I hope it came out nice. It doesn't smell sour yet, it just smells like olive oil. Ooh, not bad. That looks pretty good. Let's give it a try. Okay. The aubergine hasn't gotten any flavor yet. It definitely would be way better once it starts to pickle a little bit and get sour. But the flavor of the filling, the garlic and the parsley and the mint, oh, now it is good. I can't say that it's not. But again, maybe this is a bias. I don't think it's going above the Punjena paprika. Would it be better? Would it be a bit higher on the list if these were marinating for longer? If they had marinated longer, I think they would be above Sarmale. So I'm gonna put them also in B tier, but above Sarmale. I really love the texture, I love the creaminess, it's very fatty. I mean, it's soaked in oil and filled with nuts. It's so decadent. I can't get over it. It's delicious. Super refreshing. I mean, just imagine eating that with some fresh cheese and some cut cucumbers on the side, a little fresh Turkish bread. Oh. Sorry, I'm trying. I don't want this channel to get sexual. Let's go back to the classic stuffed vegetables and get into this Gemista because I think this is the most beautiful thing I've made today. Now, of course, would this taste better with actual Greek tomatoes? Obviously. I'm over here in Western Europe. Nothing can compare. It's a little bit pathetic. But I think the roasting will have definitely added some flavor. Let's try it. Juicy. Completely different eating experience to the other things we've had so far because the flesh of the flesh of the tomato stays juicy. Everything stays very moist on the inside. I really like the vegetables included in the rice. You get a little cross section there on the inside. Now, proving the point that I had just made, this would taste 10 times better if these were nice tomatoes. These watery Northern European tomatoes are just they're just what can I say? But I do really like the rice, the extra rice on the side. I'm gonna get some of that on its own. I really love the mint in there. This is the only recipe where we didn't use like canned tomatoes or tomato paste or passata. It was just the tomato pulp. So it's very fresh and light and a little bit sweeter than everything else, which is quite strong and umami with that tomato flavor. Okay, this might be the lowest one yet. I think it's gonna go right now in C tier. The rice is really good. Out of all the things I've tried so far, I'm not gonna go for another bite of that. But let's see if I have the same opinion for these stuffed onions. Oh, I wanted to make this dish for years. I saw it ages ago. The onions smell amazing. And I've been waiting to make it ever since. And it was so easy. I really thought it would be more labor intensive. Let's get a slice out of one of these. There we go. Bon appetit. Mm. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I've closed my eyes and I'm seeing stars. Like, the filling is so good. That spice mix immediately has blown everything else out of the ring. It's going into S tier. Undisputed that it's going into S tier. Oh my god. The onions, I mean, onion, when it cooks this so far down, it does lose its taste. It's just a shell at that point. But the filling on the inside is so delicious that I don't care. It's sweet, super umami and rich from the tomato sauce, and just, again, the mint and the 7 spice mix blows it out of the park. And the pomegranate molasses, I forgot about that. It's definitely doing something here because it's just a little bit sour, and I love that. S tier, for sure. Okay, the last stuffed vegetable, straight from the US of A! Of course it had to be deep fried. These jalapeno poppers. Sorry, I never worked at Applebee's or Chili's. I don't know how to plate these to look nice, but this one right here does look pretty picture perfect. Cheers. Oh, cheddar cheese and cream cheese. I mean, it's deep fried and filled with cheese and spicy. How can it be bad? The competition is tough right now. It's very different to the stuffed onions, so I'm not sure how to place this. I don't know if it's gonna go above or below. They're definitely also S tier. I'm deducting points because they're American. So, they're gonna be just behind the stuffed onions. And there we go, we have our official list. After stuffing every vegetable and trying all of them, well, not every, but stuffing most vegetables and trying all of them, this is my ranking overall. Get mad in the comments, or just give me more ideas. Be useful. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a funny little idea that I had. And a lot of cooking this time, a lot of tutorials, even though I never give the amounts. I will put all the recipes in the caption below if you do want to follow them. Go for the onions. That's my recommendation. Make the stuffed onions. I think that's the main takeaway from this video. Ooh, I wanted to do some honorable mentions. We've got stuffed courgettes, or mashi, from Egypt, Sudan, North Africa. We have cabbage rolls from Korea, also gołąbki from Poland. Indian stuffed eggplant. We have dolma from Turkey, or Greece, or Syria, or Lebanon, or please don't fight in the comments. And then we have the jacket potato from the UK. Some honorable mentions of other stuffed vegetables that could have made it into this video, but unfortunately did not make the cut for today. If you have any other ideas for videos, or you want to see a part 2, comment down below. Other than that, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, subscribe. I have a lot of other silly cooking videos that you can watch. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and until next time,